year. And currently, some of us, we are again, continuing that trend, probably the blended model, we can say. So this is one of the major disruptions happened in the education sector, mainly due to the pandemic. And again, with the advent of the new technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, there are at least few institutions, they've started appointing robots as teachers. In Bangalore, there is an international school where in two of their classes, I think 7th and 9th class, robots are the teachers. They have appointed robots as teachers, and in the classroom, the class teacher also will be there as a mentor. So again, that will be a threat for our profession maybe in future. So as Mr. Suresh Nambudiri mentioned the last day, there are some jobs which are, which can be replaced by robots, or some skills which can be replaced by robots. And there are some other skills which cannot be replaced by robots. That also we will discuss now. So these are the disruptions happening in education. We have already discussed about OBE, so I will skip these two slides. Then coming to the new education policy, at least 1 or 2 slides, we will just go through that. All of us are aware what the NEP is. Some key highlights I just mention it here. The NEP, new education policy, is based on the pillars of access, equity, quality, affordability, accountability, and will transform India into a vibrant knowledge hub. That is the dream of this new education policy, to transform India into a vibrant knowledge hub. Then graded autonomy based on accreditation. Will be adopted for colleges, and eventually the aim is to transform them into an autonomous degree granting college or a constituent college of a university. That is the objective of, again, NEP, graded autonomy and based on accreditation. If you have a high ranking or rating in the accreditation process, then the college can be converted into an autonomous college. And in future, there will be only autonomous colleges. So this is again an opportunity as well as a challenge. Then creating a higher education system consisting of large multidisciplinary universities and colleges with at least one in or near every district, at least one big institution in a district. That is the plan. And finally, that means the consolidation of more than 50,000 higher education institutions. We have around more than 800 universities now, 44,000 colleges, and some standalone institutions. So together we have more than 50,000 higher education institutions in India. And these 50,000 higher education institutions will be reduced into 15,000 large, well-resourced, vibrant, multidisciplinary institutions. That means 2/3 of the higher education institutions will vanish away in the coming 10 to 15 years. We can witness all these things. So this is again a challenge, as well as this is an opportunity for big institutions or quality-focused institutions, I can say. Okay. Now coming to the Academic Bank of Credit, it was launched on July 29th during the first anniversary of the announcement of new education policy. So the Prime Minister has launched the Academic Bank of Credit. So it means it's a multidisciplinary approach to implement a national academic bank of credit, which will be able to digitally score academic credits earned from various recognized higher education institutions. That means this is a portal, actually. It is already there. It is open. And almost all the central universities are registered in the portal, and some other institutions also registered on the ABC portal. And the students can also register on the ABC portal. Some students have already registered, so that the students, they can transfer the credits earned by the student from any higher education institution to this bank, this portal. And he can redeem the credits. That way, he will receive a degree. It can be a certificate, it can be a diploma, it can be a degree, or it can be a honors degree. It can be a PG or something like that. Okay. Now, the advantage for the students have the freedom to join for a course, not a program in any of the higher education institutions. For example, if a student is joining for an MBA program, suppose the MBA program consists of around 20 or 25 courses in 2 years. For 50% of the courses, the student can join in any particular higher education institution. And the remaining 50% of the courses, he can join anywhere. That means out of, say, 30 courses, for example, for 15 courses, the student can join in one institution from where he will get the degree. And for the remaining 15 courses, he can join anywhere. Even for one single course, he can take it from any other higher education institutions. That is possible. So in future, the students will not be joining for a program, but they will be joining for a course. And for a teacher, we can offer a course to any student, even outside the institution. For example, say a particular faculty member offering marketing management course, he can offer that course not only for his students. Suppose his batch consists of 60 students, MBA students. He can offer this course to students outside the institution. Okay, that is also possible. And we can offer a course online. See, 40% of the courses a student can take online. So this is actually a shift, a major change in the education system in India, so that the students, joining for a degree course, maybe after 1 year, he can quit the course. He can exit from that particular course and he can join a company for a job. And after 1 year or after 6 months, he can join for another course. In that way, in 7 years, if he can complete all the courses, he will get a degree. So that will be advantage for the students. And as teachers, definitely it will be a challenge for the teachers, but I can tell you, great teachers and great institutions will have more opportunity. Because when we are offering a course, if there are more takers for that course, definitely we will have the advantage. So in future, there are opportunities, but the opportunity is for great teachers and great institutions. Students may choose higher education institutions based on ratings and rankings, definitely. And definitely they will look into the NIRF ranking or the NAC rating, etc. But nowadays, a recent survey conducted by Into University Partnerships, according to the survey, the generation is that international students are shifting their focus from rankings to degree outcomes when applying to universities. So this is a global survey conducted recently. That means when the students are shifting their focus from ranking and ratings to outcomes, then comes the importance of outcome-based education again. Okay, so this is one of the major disruptions happening in the education sector, the academic bank of credit. Now, coming to the the skill sets in the new normal. Hyper-level skills are very important, as mentioned earlier. There are certain skills which can be replaced by robots or artificial intelligence or new technologies. But there are some other level skills, or we can say hyper-level skills, which cannot be replaced by robots. So we have to impart that skills, the hyper-level skills to students when we are designing the syllabus, when we are developing the curriculum. This is very important. And lifelong learning, the students has to practice because the technology is changing every now and then. So there should be lifelong learners. Unbundled and personalized courses we have to offer. That is again an objective of the new education policy. New education policy, it focuses on multidisciplinary approach. So we have to identify the students' interest, and we have to design the syllabus based on that. So even as per the new education policy, an engineering student can join for a music course, or a medical student can join for a humanity course in that way. And the learning experience should be, at par with the international standards, or we can say experience-driven learning. Then we have to associate with the other partners like MOUs with the memorandum of understanding with the industries or reputed organizations. Platforms and partnerships are also important. These are the 4 categories of 21st century skills based on which the new education policy was formed. So 4 categories of 21st century skills, like starting from tools for working, like information and communication technology, information literacy, or in one word, we can say digital literacy. So digital literacy is a must for every professional job in future. Then comes the skills for living in the world, like citizenship, life and career, personal and social responsibilities. So these are the skills for living in the world. And then comes the communication, collaboration, ways of working. Communication skills are very important, as well as team skills are important. So collaborative learning practices we can start. We can ask the students for some collaborative learning, and many platforms are available. Even we can have ICT tools for that. Then the most important skills are the skills related to ways of thinking, like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, decision making, or learning. And these are the skills which cannot be replaced by robots. And you can see these skills comes in the higher order of Bloom's taxonomy. So we should focus more on these skills like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving skills, decision making, etc. Now, I think everybody knows this. This is another quote. Good education means when there is a teacher who explains well and a student who understands well. But great education happens when there is a student who explains well and a teacher who understands well. Okay. So we have to change our strategies. I think all of you might have seen this slide, this pyramid. Like 90% of the education, the learning happens when when we teach others. As teachers, we are aware of it. When we teach new topics or our own subjects, we are learning more. And 75% of the learning happens when the students practice doing something. And 50% through discussions, 30% through demonstration, 20% through audiovisual aids, 10% through reading, and only 5% through lecturing. So when we develop our curriculum and the delivery methods, we should focus more on these areas. Now coming to the Q factor in academies, the quality factor in academies. The quality means it's a complex and elusive concept. It is mostly noticed by its absence. When quality is not there, definitely everybody will be aware of it. It is difficult to quantify or measure like honesty, integrity, or simplicity. We cannot measure it. There is no particular system by which quality can be measured. No scale or instrument available. So we need to measure something else. Okay. Quality doesn't cost you anything. It is an attitude of the mind, according to Durant, a quality guru. Now, how this quality factor affects in academics now? Because all these things, accreditation based on quality, outcome-based education. If you want to properly implement OBE, definitely you should focus on quality. If you are just implementing OBE for a namesake, it's okay, fine. But if you want to properly implement OBE, definitely quality is a focus. The national education policy, only the institutions which will survive in future, all the institutions will be quality focused. And academic bank of credit, the recent one. See, if you want to register in the ABC portal, you need a rating of at least A grade in NAC accreditation. Otherwise, you cannot even register in the ABC portal. And if you want to become an autonomous college, definitely you want a higher rating. So everything based on the quality. So quality is very important. Now, when we implement ICT tools, we can have some assurance plan. See, for example, for a properly monitoring or control of the systems, we use ICT tools. So starting with the, for that, again, we have to come up with some innovative learning processes, innovative assessment methods, and innovative attainment calculation for OBE. So the learning process should be innovative. We have to redefine it. Apart from the conventional methods, again, during this pandemic time, everything has changed. So based on the change, we should adopt new technologies or new innovative methods for learning processes. Assessment methods, again, attainment calculation. I will just go through one by one. I think most of you might have used Moodle during this time. Moodle is again an open source platform. And it is free of cost. It's available free of cost. Only you have to spend the money for that hosting it on a server or some customization. And again, Moodle is a tool. We have to load with suitable contents. A proper pedagogical approach should be there. And we can use education tools like Google Tools, Mentimeter, Padlet, etc. Moodle, Padlet, I think you are just experiencing it. We can use it for the collaborative learning purposes. I'm using Padlet for my teaching purpose, mainly for this collaborative learning. I'm using it almost every day. So you can also use it. Then other platforms like YouTube, Clubhouse. For example, we have conducted alumni interaction through Clubhouse. It was one of our most successful alumni interactions. I invited the first 2 batches of our MCA batch at Marian. They passed out the college around 17, 18 years back. And all of them are working in different parts of the globe, in different countries. So I invited the first 2 batches, and they interacted with the current batch on Clubhouse. So everybody was comfortable on Clubhouse because no video is there, only audio is there. And they interacted with the current students for around 4 hours. So it was definitely an interesting session. The current students, they got a lot of inputs. So such platforms we can use so that the students will be engaged. And we can avoid some repetitive tasks. For example, all of us might have the recorded videos of last year's sections. Last year, we conducted all these sections online. And these recorded videos we can upload in the LMS, the Moodle, and we can spend more time for some other innovative tasks or assignments, or even discussing some practical aspects in the class. I'm doing it. Then we have the discussion forums, research forum, or route clearance forum. Everything can be done on the Moodle so that the student will be engaged. And we can have assessments, quiz. Every day we can have quizzes so that the assessment will be happening every day. That will be definitely useful for the proper calculation of the attainment level when we are implementing OBE. And the workshop is another concept. I think you are now practicing it. One of your assignments is, you have uploaded it, and it was given for peer evaluation. I think most of the faculty members, you have uploaded your your assignment, and you have done the peer evaluation also. So through peer evaluation, again, you are learning many things. So if you can provide these things to the students, definitely they will evaluate somebody else's assignment in that way. Evaluate means, again, that is Bloom's taxonomy level 5. So the lesson activity is another platform available in Moodle, where you can have both the learning and assessment happening at the same time. So that is a very good feature of the Moodle. Then we can have database creation, wiki, same as Wikipedia. So many things, so many tools are available in Moodle itself, but to many of the faculty members, they are not properly using it. Moodle you may be using, but only as an online platform. So when we use all these things, this will help in the implementation of outcome-based education again. Then coming to the question banks, this is again a best practice. When we have a question bank automated system, it will standardize, and again it will simplify the tedious task of creating question papers, especially for autonomous colleges and universities. You can save a lot of resources. Lot of time you can save, lot of money you can save, and again, an intelligent monitoring of the question paper quality. Everything can be done when we use a question bank software or an ICT tool like this, and it can be OBE enabled also. There is an inbuilt taxonomy. I will show you a tool like that. This is an example of a question bank tool software. I just log into the controller of examinations login. This is one of the software which is used by Auxilian College because they are using it for their question paper generation purpose. This is only an example, like the controller of the examinations. From his dashboard itself, we can understand how many courses are there, how many question banks are there. So the faculty members, they can frame the questions and they can upload it to the question bank. So during the time of the examination, the controller can generate the questions, and the controller can generate the questions in 5 seconds. That is possible. I will just show you how easily he can generate a question paper. For example, this is a course, Basic Electronics and Computer Fundamentals. See, I'm going to generate the question paper for this. So before generating the question paper, suppose the question paper consists of 25 questions. This is an example which consists of 25 questions, and each of these questions can be mapped to different taxonomy levels. Or see, for example, question number 1, it is of section A. Then from module 1, if your syllabus is divided into different modules, suppose this question should be from module 1, we can fix it, everything like this. Taxonomy level, remember, importance level, or the difficulty level, everything you can fix it in advance, so that the question paper generated will be meeting all these requirements. See, in 2-3 seconds, the question paper is generated. Now the question paper is generated, but even the controller, he cannot see the question paper. It is generated. So, for example, he can generate one more question paper. This is the way we can monitor many things, when we are using ICT tools. See, 2 question papers are generated now. 2 question papers are generated. We can just compare these 2 question papers. For example, the first question paper, the structure of this question paper is visible there. The questions are not visible, but the structure is visible. From section A, from which all modules the questions are there, and what is the taxonomy level, how many questions, all this, the structure of the question paper generated can be visible. The same way, the other question paper. So 2 question papers we have generated, and the structure of these 2 question papers are visible now. Now, he can proceed with one of these 2, or even he can generate one more. If he is not satisfied with the structure of this question paper, he can generate one more, so that he can so out of these 2, he can choose one, and he can proceed. See, after putting the 2P code, see, the question paper is visible now. It's only a demo version. So in part A, how many questions are there? You can see in part B, another set of questions. Part C, another set of questions. This is the question paper of electronics. So everything will be there. So in 5 seconds, he can generate the question paper. So during the examination day itself, he can generate the question paper. And the question paper will be based on some particular criterion. It's already set by the examiner. So this is possible. And again, the controller or even the faculty members, they can check the quality of the question bank, like say for example, yeah, this is the question bank from which we have generated the question paper. See how many questions from each module it is given there. So without counting the questions in the question bank, all these are visible. How many questions from each of these modules, how many questions per module, and how many questions from each of the sections. Section A, 70 questions, section B, 56 questions, section C, 35 questions are there. Because the question paper is divided into section A, section B, and section C. And based on the taxonomy levels, how many questions from each of these taxonomy levels. See, for example, the evaluate level, only 7 questions are there. So if the faculty wants to add more questions on the evaluate level, he can add and he can upload it to the question bank so that more questions will be there in the evaluate level. So the complete monitoring of the question bank can be done. So, in 1 or 2 months, the faculty can develop the question bank, and during the examination time, the controller can generate the questions. And the questions will be generated based on the preset conditions, like the taxonomy and everything will be already set by the examiner or the board of studies or the department council of the college. Okay. So this is possible. And the faculty can upload the questions at any time. There are some best practices that also I will mention. I will show you how the faculty can. Okay, one more thing. There are many other reports like, the CEO status. This is an example of, some question banks. Again, this is our question bank from where we have generated the question paper. So 161 questions are there, and all these questions are mapped to CEOs. Whereas in other discrete mathematics, 153 questions out of 17 questions are mapped to CEOs, 136 questions are not mapped to CEOs. So the controller or the HOD can ask the particular faculty member to map all the questions to the CEOs. So many reports are like a vetting status can be, received from this report again. That way, we can monitor everything. Some particular faculty may be, uploading the questions, and this question bank can be provided to some experts or even inside the college or outside college for vetting purpose. So how many questions were vetted and how many were not vetted? And after vetting process, how many were accepted, how many rejected? All these figures can be received from the reports. And again, it is easy for the faculty members to add questions to the system. I'll show you. This is an Excel sheet. Like this is an example again. This is an Excel sheet where the faculty can input questions. Like suppose the faculty has got one question from module 1, and module 1 can be divided into units, sub-units. So what is GST is a question, and we can put the taxonomy level here. Suppose if it is a taxonomy level is remember, and put remember there. Then the difficulty level, importance level, nature, everything can be done. And finally, he can map these to different CEOs. If there are 5 CEOs, this particular question can be mapped to a particular CEO or more than one CEO, depending on the question. Okay. So in that way, all the questions in the question bank will be mapped to CEOs. So once the question paper is generated, that question paper, in that particular question paper, all the questions will be mapped to CEOs. So it's easy for us to calculate the attainment rate. So this is about section A. We can have, if there is a question from section B, we can add it here in that way. And it is very easy again.